Welcome everyone to Coaching the Session. My name is Michael Rearden, and I'll be your mindset coach today. And today I'm going to be talking about the limited mind. And what I do as a mindset coach is I help people realize where they are setting limits in their life. And whether that be in their relationship, their career, or their own personal life, people have the habit of putting limits in their life. And what I do is I help navigate people through them and to develop the mind where you're not going to allow limiting thoughts and limiting beliefs and that limited mind come back into your life again. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and to share this video. When we look at the mind, we're going to be faced with a challenge. And that challenge could be anything. It can be, I have to wake up early. I have to make someone proud. I have to be confident. I have to be a man. I have to do what my job is, my role. And there's so many things that we tack on to ourselves. And whether that be for our personal life or in our relationships or career, that whole makeup of who we are going to be faced with some thoughts. And we have to figure out, are these limiting beliefs helping me or are they stopping me? When you have those limiting beliefs, I guarantee you it's going to be difficult to see them at first. It's not until you have someone point it out to you, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Because our mind is not going to get in the way unless fear is involved. Now, challenge is another thing. Challenge doesn't necessarily have to have fear. But when fear is in the way, then our mind starts to race. It's like, this is our obstacle. This is what we need to overcome. And you might have a fear of success, a fear of failure, and we can address that too in your mindset. But when we're looking at the limited mind, once we start to hit that challenge, then guess what happens? Now we're not as ambitious anymore. Now we want to quit. We want to give up. How can we push past that limiting mindset, those negative beliefs, those negative thoughts? And the way we do that is through coaching. And that's what I do. That's what I offer. I offer affordable coaching for people who want to become more than what they are right now. You might think, well, how is someone going to help me become a better person? I can do that myself. And I'm not saying that you cannot, because you can become a better person, but you're always going to push yourself more if you have someone helping you. Now, think of it this way. If you had to move a pile of dirt from the front yard to the backyard, will it be quicker with one person or two people? Now, of course, we're talking about no machinery, just a shovel and a wheelbarrow. It's going to be quicker with two people. So now that you have two people working on one task, the task can get done quicker. And in life, we have only one life. Now, of course, we have a lot of minutes, a lot of hours, a lot of days, but we only have one life. And we don't know when that life is going to end. So what we have to start to do is operate under the bounds where if we create limits for ourselves, we avoid those limits. We don't let those contradictions saying that we can or can't do something dictate what is ours. So if you're having a hard time in an area of your life, it's a good possibility that you're putting limits or you have a limited mindset in that area. And you could be struggling in anything, in relationships. Why is your relationship not working? There's something that's stopping you from having a successful relationship. And the same thing is true in your career, and the same thing is true in your personal life. If you're out of shape, if you're unhappy, there's a reason for that. It's not life gave you a bad hand. It's you are not playing your hand correctly. So if you know you're the person who's supposed to make your life as good as it can be, as good as it should be, why are you not doing things about that? And it's a conundrum. Why are we self-sabotaging ourselves? Why do we procrastinate? Why do we go on our cell phones instead of writing our book? Why do we do all the things we're not supposed to be doing? And then we complain how life is so unfair. The other day I was on Twitter, and I'm on Twitter on the weekends, and someone was upset that someone was making over $200,000 a year. And I understand it's a lot of money because a low percentage of people make it, but there's no reason why you can't make it. That's the problem. People put themselves in a box. They say, I'm in this box, you're in that box. And then as long as they are putting themselves in this box, guess what happens? I'm in this region. I can only make $45,000, $50,000. That is my capability. You put yourself there. Your parents put yourself there. Your teachers, your friends, they put you in that box. And if you want to stay in that box, stay in there. But don't complain when you look outside of your box and you go, well, that person has something better than I do. That's not fair. They should give some to me. Guess what? If you want something in your life, you need to go get it. And if you're going to be afraid of challenge and not willing to go get it, then that's the problem. In our world, we are creating weak individuals, and they have a weak mindset where the moment something bad happens to them, they say, you know what? I don't really want to try anymore. I want to give up. And then even for the people who say, I want something in their life, the moment you put them to work, they go, I thought I wanted it, but I really didn't want it. So now we have to face our lesser self, our limited mind, because it's operating under the bounds of, this is my comfort zone. Let me not go past it. And we need to go past our comfort zone to reach a higher level of growth. And as long as people are going to be afraid to go past that comfort zone, then we're going to be in that same problem for generation after generation after generation. And we have to just do one thing. Don't allow things to get in our way, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. Because at the beginning and the end of the day, you are in charge of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. If your thoughts are not positive in leading you to a better place, a better mindset, get rid of them. If your feelings are telling you something that's not going to be productive in the sense of your accomplishments and your advancements in life, change them. And if you're not having action, or you're having inaction, the wrong action, you need to start to figure out what actions you need to start to implement to figure it out. And there's a way that you can do that. A way that you can get rid of your limited mind, your limited mindset, those limiting beliefs, and it's by micro-stepping. Now, micro-stepping is just going to be a process of you taking small steps to your goal. And it doesn't have to be big steps. It does not. People give themselves this big goal in the beginning. They say, I want to do it. And it's so big and it's so daring. And I love it. I want you to have big goals. I want you to be afraid to reach them. I want you to have that thought in your mind saying, can I do this? Because that's a big task. And the bigger that task is in your head, the more action and the more drive we need, a stronger mindset. That is what we need. So when we're talking about the small steps, the micro-stepping, we are trying to figure out what steps can we take every single day, and we break it down into the smallest form. This is what I do with my clients. And they give me a goal. I say, what's the first step? And then we take that first step and we cut that step down into even smaller steps if possible, because we give ourselves a goal. And that goal is going to be a big goal or a challenging goal. And the moment we face some resistance, we say, ooh, this is heavy. This is too much for me. I can't handle it. And you just run away. That's the natural tendency of people. And it's not necessarily the people are the problem, it's the brain. But the brain can be rewired. The brain can be reformatted. So if you're having a difficult time reformatting your mind, or even understanding that your mind needs to be changed, look around. Look at your environment. Look at the behaviors of you and your people. Is that what you want when you retire at 65? Is that what you want when you decide that you don't want to retire at 65 and you say, I want to retire at 45? You choose when you want to retire. And you just have to understand, is your micro-stepping going to be a long journey, or are you going to make it quicker. Now, Elon Musk had a good way of putting this. If he has something that can take a certain amount of time, so let's say it's going to take 10 years to do something. 10 years is a long time. Now, Elon, he doesn't want to waste 10 years. So he says, is there a way I can do this in 10 months? From 10 years to 10 months, he's that ambitious. So he has to find 10 years worth of energy and make sure in these 10 months, he gives everything he has. And you know what that does to the mind? It's going to say, hey, I need to figure out how to get more energy. I need to stop all these limit breaks that I put on myself and then just say, hey, here's all the energy you need for the day so you can accomplish your task sooner than later. And the brain is going to be operating under a percentage factor. So your brain, your body, your capabilities might be capped 10, 30%, maybe 40% in a given day. So that means you have so much more to give and you're barely giving anything. Barely. And if you continue down that road, that's going to be a sure way that you have a complacent lifestyle, that you make less than $200,000, that you're unhappy, that you are not ambitious, that you don't go after your purpose or your passion. Because you can make large amounts of money. That's easy. You can make money, you can lose money. The problem that is happening with people is that they treat money as some type of scarcity that is only for the successful people in the world. There's not a limit to success. There's not a limit to the money. You can look at the government. The government keeps on printing money. They'll do what they want. So why can't we get a piece of that pie? Why are you not going after more in your life? Because if you're just going to allow yourself to do the things that don't help you every single day, you're your own worst enemy. Forget about the government. Forget about the people who don't like you. You are your own worst enemy. And you have to get out of that way of thinking. You think that you're so smart. I know what's best for me. And yet you settle for the scraps that are thrown at you. That doesn't help you. That makes you weaker. There's a reason why the successful are successful and the people who are not successful complain. Because it's easier to complain and to give up and to surrender and to submit than it is to challenge authority and to rise up to the challenge and to put out as much energy as you can in a given day. Again, it's easy to be weak, and if you have a limited mind, you need to figure that out. And if you're curious, head over to revenconcepts.com. You can check out the blogs, check out the motivational videos, sign up for a consultation. This is just the first step. And then you can go down that road. Maybe you get coaching, you try it out for the first month, and then you realize, I thought I wanted it, but I really don't want to put in this much work. I'm just going to be happy with what I have. Now, what you have might be good enough for you. And not everyone in the world is going to say, I want more in my life. I want better in my life. But yet those same people are going to be playing the lotto, are going to be gambling, are going to be trying to get an easy out. They're allowing hope and luck to be a factor when the only factor they need is themselves. They have to push when they don't want to push. They have to keep on progressing and advancing when it feels like there's no more room to grow. We have to break free from those shells that we have surrounded ourselves with, that comfortable little box we have placed ourselves within, because it doesn't help us. And you're going to have that limited mindset for quite some time. And as long as that mindset is there, you're going to be having difficulties in multiple areas of your life. And we can blame our parents for giving us limiting beliefs. We can blame our friends for giving us limiting beliefs or not believing in ourselves. We can complain over and over again, and we can pass off the reason, make an excuse why we do not challenge ourselves, why we don't go after more in our life. But that excuse is simply just an excuse. It's a reason we give to validate our lesser self, our limited self. Because if we can stay the same, we don't have to change. And change is going to be one of the most difficult things you're going to have to do in your life. And if you understand that change is painful, that change is a lot of work, that it's a lot of energy, there's no wonder why people stay away from change, because they realize it's going to be a hardship that they have to overcome. And not many people are going to see that hardship. Not many people are going to do anything about it either, even if they see it. They're just going to toss it in a corner, and they're going to hope it doesn't show its fangs again. Because it's easier to throw away our dirty laundry and ignore it than to clean up the mess that what is our life. And I'm not going to sit here and say that this is going to be a simple task for you to get out of your limited mind. It's going to be rough. It's going to be challenging. But if you want to do it, then you have to start to take action. And the action does not have to be big. Again, micro steps, small victories. We take the task and we break it down into the smallest possible form, smallest possible step. And when we can do that, our brain is tricked in a sense. We don't see a task as big or scary. We see it as, oh, that's doable. That's reasonable. Why do you think good cop, bad cop works? It works for a reason. Because they see something unreasonable and then they see something reasonable. It's just looking at your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, it can be easily manipulated for the better or for the worst. So when people come to me and they want to change their life, I say, let's get to work. And then when we start to get to work, they finally start to realize, whoa, there was a lot there. This is not therapy. Now, of course, we can make it therapy, but this is advancement in your life. And there are going to be many people who want that type of advancements, that they want that type of lifestyle, that they want that type of income. And they just complain that someone is using their money in a certain way. So if I buy something with my money, be it a fast car or a big house, don't be upset that I have this fast car and this big house, or that my income is a certain level. Be upset that you're not ambitious enough to go after the same things that I went for. And you might say, oh, you had a silver spoon in your mouth and you were able to have parents who were there and protect you and help you. That's an excuse. I can give you multiple examples of people who came from nothing and they made more out of their life. And the reason was because they decided that they didn't want to be limited. They decided that they're not going to take the smaller piece of the pie. They wanted the whole dang thing. And most people are just not ambitious enough. Most people are just not as hungry as they think they are. They would like to be, of course. Who wouldn't want to be successful? Who wouldn't want to have a good life, a good living, being able to help those around them, support themselves and their family? People want to do that. Because if we ask ourselves, what is our dream in life? If we had a dream in our life to be successful and to be ambitious and to be outgoing, what would that look like? And for many people, they can say, I want this type of house. I want to live in this state. I want to do this and I want to do that. And then I have to ask, well, what are you doing to get that? And they're just doing the same thing they've been doing for the last 15 years. And nothing has happened. There has been no growth. The same walls have been showing up in their life. And as much as they try to avoid those walls, they keep running into them. You cannot avoid a problem. You cannot avoid a challenge. You must face that challenge head on. And you must break through any type of limits that you have in your mind. So if you're having trouble with your mindset, how you think, and you want to change, well, the only thing you have to do is get started. Break down the steps into smaller steps, and then figure out how you can be more than what you are right now. And you can always head to revenconcepts.com, seek the coaching that you need. You can always find a different coach, whether it be with one of the big name brand coaches or to find someone who's going to be a local in your area that you can work with. Now, pick the person who you believe in, because if you believe in this person and they believe in you, then action is going to start to happen. Then development is going to start to occur. Then change will happen. Your life is not by mistake. So stop walking through life like you're some mistake, like you have no purpose, because you do. Challenge yourself and rise up to the occasion, which is life. If you're just tuning in, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and to share this video with whomever is having a hard time in their life right now, whether that be with their limited mindset or they're just unhappy where they are. You can always head over to revenconcepts.com to find additional information. I will see everyone on Monday for our next episode of Coaching in Session. Until then, everyone take care.